I like dollar, I like euro, I like franc and British pound. I like vodka and rakia, hit me with another round. I like burek, it's a pie, you will love it if you try. I like grill, I like meat, cake baklava, very sweet. I like peace, stop the war, politicians I ignore. Olive branch, white pigeon, is Google new religion. I like planet as a ball, some people tell me it's flat. And if it's flat then I could fall, but where is logic in that? I don't wear shoes, I like my Crocs, I wear them on my new white socks. I like to think outside of box, I drink rakia on the rocks. This beat is cool, you won't be wrong, just send us to the Euro song. Party people, make some noise, we are Balkan boys. Balkan boys. We are Balkan boys. Balkan boys. I like Hugo, it's a car, cannot get me very far. I like bar, it's kafana. I like putra, that's marijuana. Stop the war, no more fight. Rakia will unite. Stop the war, no more fight. Everything will be alright. I don't wear shoes, I like my Crocs. I wear them on my new white socks. Party people, make some noise. We are Balkan boys. Balkan boys. Balkan boys. Balkan, Balkan, Balkan boys. Balkan boys. Balkan boys. We are Balkan boys. Balkan boys. We are Balkan boys. Balkan boys. Balkan boys. Balkan boys. We are Balkan boys. Balkan boys. Balkan.
Yes, we are back. That was an unfortunate internet outage for one reason or another. Not sure. We should be good now though. But I know where to start. That we are too young to understand. If you haven't heard this cover of this song, Ruskaya, if you haven't heard this cover, Ruskaya does Wake Me Up, Vici obviously, but this is a good, I like it better than the original. I just absolutely, this is on my, my tournament, my disc golf tournament playlist. It's gets me kind of, I need something to charge up my good mood right now because that put me in a really bad mood when technology fails. I'm just gonna wait for the horns to kick in because it's just so fun. Hey! Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's probably not in sync with the desktop anymore though. Fuck, I miss drumming, as you guys can see. How's everybody doing today? Take two. My name is Tyler. Welcome back to the AmpSim show after a brief outski. I'm not going to go over everything we've gone over in two streams in the first section again, but we will go over everything again. Now, this is my Meinzinger Tempest, and I am basically what I'm doing to establish which pickups I want from Aurora Tone. Pardon me. I need to know what this guitar needs. So to do that, I need to use two pickups in this guitar that I am extremely in tune with. In this case, it's the Seymour Duncan Jazz and the DiMarzio Evolution. And I just put these in here because it came with an Aurora Tone set. I really, really like the neck pickup, but the bridge pickup was not meant really for this guitar. It needs to be in a brighter guitar, and this is a darker guitar with more of a bulldozing kind of a mid-section. So I'm going to need something that's a bit brighter and scoopier, very likely. So we're going to find something like that and maybe not even something with a whole lot of low end either. It's probably gonna look something like a, or from your angle, like a. Okay, so it's a really beefy guitar, a lot of low end in here, and a big bulldozing section of the guitar as well. So I got to make sure we're treading with that. That being said, we're going to talk about the Meinzinger. We're going to talk about the price point, incredible price point of these guitars. And then the second half of the stream, we're going to be like, it's got long boy. We're going to be, guys, buckle in, pack yourself a fucking lunch. We're going to be here for a bit today. I'm going to switch over to the exact opposite of this, a Harley Benton baritone. And I did something, as I was telling you guys I was going to do. I went out and purchased the strings that came on the guitar they came with 68s. And you are not tuning. I was not going to get as low as I wanted with the 68. So I upgraded. So like it was like a 74, and even the 74 was not getting me as low as I wanted to get with this particular instrument. So I went with an 84. I think it was like an 84 that I ended up going with, 84 to 24, and they're all wound. Cannot wait to use that for you guys later. It sounds like a goddamn bulldozer rolling through a fireworks factory. So I'm really stoked to play some guitar for you guys. If you have any plugin suggestions today, that'd be great. That's fine throughout the stream. I've got a couple queued up because I want to know exactly what this guitar is giving me. So I've eliminated one of the other options. Okay? The variables. I took the Aurora tones out, put in 2 pickups I'm extraordinarily familiar with so that I can figure out exactly what this guitar needs for a set of pickups. I love the finish. Oh my God, do I love the finish on those Aurora tone pickups. Oh my goodness. They look so great. I told them, please don't throw any of that material out. Please keep enough to make me another set because, oh my gosh. So guys, I'm really excited about that. All right, let's go through here. How's it going, Thomas? How's it, Rudy? What's up, dude? Nice to see you. Mesa Recto, nice to see you. Pedro, nice to see you. Eddie, dude, brother, nice to see you. I'm in a conversation with Eddie today, guys. I told you today you were going to get a hint on the thing that I'm working on right now with Eddie. Now Bo is also in on it, and a developer whose name I will not mention actually, and we're working on a signature plugin with a particular artist. It's finally happening, guys. I'm gonna gush a little bit, okay? 5-6 years ago, I got to interview one of my guitar heroes for Honest Amp Sim reviews. It was just, he was like, yeah, he didn't really know much about plugins at the time. He said, I don't know, I'm just starting to dabble. And I hooked him up with a whole bunch of plugins, and I kept in touch to where, we kept in touch. And I almost had something for this artist. He's one of my heroes, honestly. And I was like, how would you feel about a signature suite? He's like, God, I would love to do that. That's pretty cool. And this was like 5-6 years ago. And we just couldn't we had something in place it was roughly about 4 or 5 years ago. Now we had something in place. It didn't really, there's certain terms that were just not going to work. So we took our time and eventually found a developer that was going to do something super fucking awesome. And it took a little while to come together, but now it's finally coming together. And it makes I'm getting to work on a signature plugin with my modern guitar hero. It's a feeling like I can't explain, guys. I've worked on a lot of signature plugins. I've worked with a lot of licensed stuff. I've worked on a lot of AR. I had a conversation, really. I'm working on a couple projects right now that are just so amazing. But this one, guys, I had to gush a little bit. And thank you so much for listening to that, because you're going back and forth with your guitar hero asking what they would like in their signature plugin. I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, please stop. I can only get so excited. Oh, geez, I feel like a kid on Christmas every time I get to be a part of something like this. And so, wow. We're going to talk more about that throughout. This is the Meinzinger Tempest, and I'm going to just chug on this for a little bit. And I think I've got it down to where I also didn't feel like C was the right tuning for this guitar. This guitar really, really feels like D is going to be the even D, E flat, maybe even E at some point is going to be the jam for this instrument. It doesn't feel to me like I should drop it down too low. C felt like with the amount of low end that exists in this instrument alone, I feel like D is where I'm going to live. E flat, I think D is sounding really good. Maybe even drop C at times. But I think that that sounds like where this guitar wants to live. Hey, muffin dude? I mean muffin dude. I got you. Sorry, I said muffin dude. What you calling me, fat? No, I'm definitely not fat right now. If you've never heard Macabre, go and listen to the... Oh boy, wrong fucking button. Ah! If you guys want Macabre Dahmer, it is literally... We've talked about this album before, but if you haven't listened to Macabre Dahmer, listen to the album from the first song to the last song. There's a few real silly boys on there. Why not? You know, we're going to listen to the Dahmer album today. We're going to start with Dog Guts. And so this is literally a chronological order of Jeffrey Dahmer's life in an album. Some are very, very short songs. But man, you really got to go and listen to this album because it is pure fucking genius. I'm not saying nothing they've ever done otherwise wasn't that good, because that's not true. Macabre is a savage beast of a band with some savage monster players. Weird dudes, man. They dress like farmers on stage. I think they dress like farmers all the time. And the dude sings with like a headset mic, and he's got a big boy 8 or 7 string. The guy's he's got the craziest voice. Anyways, Macabre Dahmer, please do go listen. Recommended. How's it going, Caleb? Man, that's awesome to see you, Kyle. And Daryl, I'm not sure if Daryl's going to be chiming in at all today. I would love to have Daryl on to answer some questions about his instruments, if he can at some point. I know that he listens to / watches us in his workshop, and we're gonna be talking a lot about his instrument today, as we did in the last couple streams. What happened to the actual stream 91 is I let it go. I went to go and stream, and I guess I know I hit the button, but there was a little pop-up that I missed. It's like the Are You Sure pop-up, and I really had to pee, guys. So I boogied off and then realized that we had let it go, and then we had put on the like our cooking music to listen to around the house. So they just kept on going and going, and everyone in the group chat's like freaking out, like it's just like, or just laughing at me in general. Like, but I figure like I've only done that twice out of 100 streams. Only twice have I left it running. Twice out of 100 streams. So that's pretty good odds. Not so bad. And you know, it happens on Twitch more than you think. I've been watching more than a few streams where the person didn't fully hit the off button. And there's actually, one of the things they say is that your ending screens always have an ending screen, and always make sure your microphone is not attached in any way to your ending or your pause screens, your be right back screens, your intro screens. No microphone in your OBS whatsoever. Don't even put one in there at all, because reasons. You say things even just in the privacy of your own home, and then or you do things. There's that one streamer that got booted off Twitch for things, maybe showing some private time that shouldn't have been, or maybe it was just purposeful. I don't know. Either way, that's one of the things I made sure to do, because, you know, you never want something like that to like be a problem. Anyways, sorry for everybody. But anyways, when I go in to go and trim that and edit it, it just was, I wasn't familiar with the process. So I accidentally screwed it up. And then with the most recent one, well, we screwed that up because the internet sucks sometimes. So... Oh! Yes, there are. There's a lot of streamers. Lots and lots and lots of streamers these days. With that whole IRL streaming, man, people just having to go further and further and further and further and further and further away from fucking morality to get views these days. Like that, what's his name? Johnny Sumani or Johnny, what's his name? It's the guy that went to Korea and just literally fucked his whole life up. That dude's life, he might as well have just gone flush. That's it. The whole dude, that's a wrap. For what? I'm sorry, but like, man, there's a lot of streamers that are incriminating themselves and they're filming everything they're doing. All of their crimes. Like that dude that wrecked his McLaren. He's like, watch how fast I can go in the rain while I'm checking my chat, bro. I crashed my car. And then his friend was like hurt or something. And he's like, fuck my friend. Film the car. You know, like, holy shit. There's some really, really bad people with a lot of money out there, folks. But that's another thing for another day. You know, you want to shit talk shitty influencers and man, crypto scams too. Lots of the crypto scams. Guys, stop buying crypto scams. Please stop buying crypto. Oh my gosh. If you don't know about crypto scams, go and watch CoffeeZilla. That guy's... And if you do a crypto scam and you get enough money, that dude is coming for you. Oh my gosh. He is coming for you. It's not worth it anymore, folks. Yeah, I know, right? He thought he was going to do the same thing as... I watched a bunch of background because I'd never heard of the guy. And I watched a bunch of background on this whole thing. It was exactly... He's like... He thought he was just going to get kicked out of the country. And those dudes are like, you're not going anywhere, dude. Because if we let you go, you're just going to go to another fucking country and you're going to do the same fucking thing somewhere else. But man, if that's what you have to do to make your money is harass people like that, gosh. I mean, old man yells at cloud. You guys noticing it's holding tuning way better than it did last night as well? I did a little bit of, it's holding the tuning because I really feel like it's better for D. It's better with just a very pinch of a lighter string. I'm using 52 to 11s in D standard. And I really worked probably a little bit lower than even Daryl would have liked me to bring it down at the first fret and then not the action here. And I also backed things off here as well. Like I said, folks, I like it as low as I can get it before it starts buzzing. And it's just because I have some arthritic and some just a whole bunch of crap going on with my fingers. Just being old and having used my hands a lot. I think this needs something a little scooped. And guys, if you see me slouching, punch me or something. Tell me about it. Stop slouching, you dummy. Okay, so let's talk about the price point again. Okay, so $2,500 US gets you the base model build. And the base model build, as I've come to understand it from Daryl at Meinzinger, is not so base level, okay? It is the only thing different from a base level build and this build would be gold fret wire and and a bolt-on neck, okay? So you picture the Tempest here with basically a bolt-on neck, and probably not gold fret wire, which is love gold. Every time I look at the fret wire, that's how I feel. He likes gold so much, he's got fret wire, it's gold. Don't do it. I despise nuisance streamers. Getting me going on them is like getting you going on Positive Grid. I don't even have to get going on them anymore. They don't even really make plugins anymore. Do they? Or did they just start making those... buy some shit in a box. Dun, dun, dun. Buy some shit in a box now. Yeah. Look at this shit in a box. Ooh, little shit in a box. That's all their plugins are now. They're like, people are onto us. They know our plugins are trash. Let's put it in a box. Yes. Let's put it in a box. And people can use it from their phone. Egads. You can run Nambrini audio through your phone. Can you imagine can you hack? Oh, can someone tell me, can you hack a Positive Grid? What do they call that? Spark? Can you hack a Spark? Can you imagine if you can hack a Spark to somehow use the Nambrini audio stuff that's available on iOS instead of using their software? Can you imagine? That would be cool, wouldn't it? But then again, in that case, wouldn't you just need a Bluetooth speaker? Wouldn't that be? I don't know. You guys discuss in the comments. How is that possible? Can we talking about hacking a Spark like they did? They hacked the fridges in Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? Yes, you can, Rudy. Nice. But even still, though, those boxes sound, it's like it's... Anyways, I just like to chirp on Positive Grid because they won't let me chirp them on social media anymore. They know I'm pretty much banned or blocked from all of their social media because every post I was just hammering down. Also, we're talking about bands that lost guitar players and bands that got guitar players. Can we talk? This is on a different level here because you guys want to continue on that, we can. But can we talk about Reese Scruggs? Can we talk about the guys in Havoc? The drummer from Havoc is now in... Oh, geez. The drummer from Havoc is now in Fear Factory. The bass player from Havoc is now in Soulfly? Question mark? And then now the guitar player Reese Scruggs is in Machine Head. That's pretty cool. I'm waiting to see yeah, never mind. Noted. We're listening to Macabre, by the way. Okay. Pow! Gotta write things down when you have ideas. Yeah, Fear Factory. He's in Fear Factory. And Reese Scruggs is in Machine Head now. That's pretty badass. Now, Brandon Ellis, has there been any information on Brandon Ellis yet? Does anybody know? Anybody know, like, why did he leave Black Dahlia Murder? And does anybody know, like, who's taking the spot? I know they had that other guy back when Trevor passed, and then the guitar player went to the singing role. And then... I wasn't really sure, like, what they're going to do there. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's bad that they went and did that stuff. I think it's awesome. It just shows how much talent is in that band. I mean, the singer and guitarist in that band as well. I don't know if he's, like, if he's going to have to get new members. I don't know if those guys are still in that band or if he's going to have to get new members because Havoc for a while was touring like crazy. They were touring like crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, let's get back to some guitars. Nope. Can't remember the tapping pattern for that. All right, anyhow, my name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim Show, episode 91. And man, I'm excited to be here. I'm so excited to have this guitar in my hands. And it was put there by a man. Thanks so much to Daryl Meinzinger for this unbelievable instrument. We came to a really, what I think is going to be a really great kind of promotional agreement where, you know, we get a discount on the instrument. And then we're working with him on I'm working with him on a future build. And it's going to be another Tempest, slightly different headstock, very blacked out, maple neck as well, all blacked out. Everything's going to be very badass looking, black and white kind of vibe going on it. Maybe like a nice white trim around things. The body is going to be maybe slightly different. I'm hoping to, for the first time, I think it's probably the first time he's ever done it. Maybe it's not. I was like, man, it would be really cool to get a Floyd Rose. Like, what do they call it? They call it a recessed Floyd Rose, where it's just dropped in and there's no springs. It does not move. It is literally dropped in and secured for the purpose of just being there. I don't know how it's done. I don't exactly know how it's done or where you even get them at this point. But I'm going to ask him about it if he thinks that would be a fun idea, because the next one is also going to be a 27.5 scale and it's going to be tuned in A. And this, as we know, is a beefy boy. So it's going to be an interesting vibe. If you're looking to do a build with Meinzinger, please let them know that you found them through us, because you will be up for a discount on the build. And then we, in the future, we can also continue to work with Meinzinger down the stretch and show that, hey, we can stir up a little business. It's a Canadian guy, Canadian made. And as I said in the last stream, guys, Canadian made is always going to be legitimate. Everything made in this country that I live in, I call home, is made with love, care, pride, and quality and durability. This thing feels like a weapon, feels like I could drop it. I will not drop it. It feels like I could drop it or something could run it over and it would be just fine. But because it feels like it was built with a serious quality and longevity in mind. So, Shaller. I've heard it said both ways. Yes, Mick Thompson. Exactly. Mick Thompson, Dino Gazzaris. And if you're a fan of custom shop builds, man, go to Instagram and find one of the many people obsessed with the LA custom shop for Ibanez. Oh, still my beating heart. That's one thing I could just like sit on Instagram and just be like, oh, my God, I want it so bad. This one's for sale, $7,000. You know, I could literally swipe through thousands of pictures from LA custom shop builds for only the A-list artists at Ibanez. It's crazy that it's a custom shop that's so prestigious that even if you're not like the highest level Ibanez, or if they don't see an extreme amount of promise, you don't have access to this place. You don't have access to the LA custom shop, even if you have money. Like if you're just like, I would like to buy. No, I'm sorry, not available to you. It's only for our A-list artists. You can't just call them and at least you couldn't before. Can you now? Can you reserve? Does anybody have that information? I don't want to misspeak here, but let me know on that. However, going back to Meinzinger and Daryl and the price point, where would this be worth? I think I was speaking with Daryl when this in US dollars, this would be probably worth closer to 3,000, or 30 in US dollars would be closer to probably 3,000 as opposed to the 2,500, maybe 33 or 32, I think. So yeah, anyways. So that's going to be roughly, if you're looking at price point. Now, which pickups come in the guitar depends on you. Although stock if you wanted just a stock, the stock base level build, it would come with, I think we haven't discussed a passive option. He's got a few different passive options that he's maybe looking into, but certainly Fishman he's able to put Fishman in, and as well as this lovely battery pack here. And you're able to get Fishman, various Fishman. I think he's got Fishman Fluence Classics and Moderns, maybe. I'm not sure. Although you're able to just tell him, hey, I'd really like this set of pickups in there. And it's definitely going to be probably a tick up. It's going to be an upcharge, depending on the price of the pickups. Or in some custom, I'm not sure if Daryl offers this, but some people will actually get it. Could possibly get a slight discount on certain builds from where I've seen it, where customers have supplied their own pickups and said, well, I have a set of pickups here. It's brand new. I don't have any need for it. I'll send them to you and put it into the guitar during the build, and providing they're new or in good condition, because nobody wants a guitar to go leave their shop and with pickups that are beat up to shit, unless it's got that aggressor look, right? Where you can do it that way. Also, I would suggest looking at Aurora Tone pickups, which would also be an upcharge, although they are very reasonably priced. And I can't say enough good things about Cody at Aurora Tone. And the pickups, again, the reason I've got these two in here is because I'm trying to figure out what profile this guitar requires, so that we can grab something and Cody and I can work on something that matches that UV, that amazing finish you guys saw with the gold poles. That pickup ripped. No problem with that. That pickup is awesome. So no problems there. However, in the bridge, we had to figure something slightly different out. And I think that by putting the Evo in here, now we're trying to figure that out. So probably I would say within a month, I'll have something, that Aurora Tone set back in here and fired up and ready to go. My fingers are just not this tackiness. Tacky, I tell you. But man, this guitar is just so beautiful. The headstock is so rad because it's beautiful, but it's small. It almost feels like I'm playing a headless, almost, in a sense, because it feels like a shorter guitar. It's not really. But the next one, as mentioned, I'm intending on tuning it to B flat or A. So likely A. And I feel like all the guitars I've ever tried to tune to A that are in like a standard 24 or 25/5 scale, I find they just don't hold that tuning, and it doesn't intonate well. I really want that 27/5 so I can drop tune something and also showcase something for Daryl that is going to wear that real modern metal, genty kind of sound as well. So as far as the set of pickups for the next one goes, I really think I'm going to go with just say, you know what? I'm just going to go with a set of Jupiter rails because I really, really want to try a set of Jupiter rails. And I know what pickups they're based on. I think this might be the opportunity I finally have to be like, all right, finally going to go with a set of Jupiter rails in that one and hope for the best. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Does anybody know anything about the Jupiter rail? And if Wes has ever said anything about it being relatable, or whether the design or anything was related to the Dimebucker in any way or anything like that? I'm wondering about that, just curiously. Is there a problem running pedals on the audio interface and plugins? No. You can do it. It hits it just fine. It's not going to hit it exactly like it hits an amp. You can do it though. The only reason I don't like doing it is if I'm recording. I hate doing it if I'm recording. I fucking hate it because there's one album I recorded. I threw a Tube Screamer. It was a Precision Drive, and this is to this day the reason I still don't like the Precision Drive fully. There's just a certain voicing sound to the Precision Drive, and I had it. I had purchased one, and it was early on when I purchased it. It was quite expensive. I really wanted to try it, and I did. And I used it on this album and out front of the interface. And so then all 4 guitar tracks had this. Stupid me. All 4 guitar tracks have currently. I'm still trying to kind of work with this mix. And I still haven't really been able to get to nail it down. I'm leaning on re-recording all the guitars, which would require learning all the songs again. And that is exactly why I don't like to do it, is because when I'm recording, I think that just software is fine. Hardware analog to analog is great, but I know a lot of people that do it. A lot of bass players that record with their own stuff, their own little dark glass stuff and SansAmp stuff, and don't even bother with plugins. And it's all but you're stuck with it. That's all I'm saying is if you're recording, you're stuck with it on that DI forever. If you don't like it, if you don't like a pedal that you have on it, you're stuck with it. If you don't like a pedal plugin that you have on it, you're not stuck with it. So that's why I just like to record with the best DI signal I can muster, and then pump it into the best plugins for the best tones I can find. That's all I can say on my end of things. The stream stopped there for a second for you. It's okay. Strictly 7? Oh, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Man, real long time. I remember those guitars. Was yours one of the ones that were made before the company started cranking out complete crap? Remember they trusted some, I don't know, there was a story on some forum or something. I don't want to go with nothing, but I don't really want to go with just forum discussion stuff. But I remember there was seeing a few guitars that had kind of come. There was Keith Merrow had one or something. But man, they were sick looking guitars, cool looking headstocks. Oh my gosh, their headstocks were nice. Brain Dead, how's it going? If I haven't said hello to anybody, I'm sorry. And we will talk more though. They are based on the XL, sort of the blade mags are bigger. A little more mids. Hey, how's it going, Brain Dead? What are you up to? We're just chilling with the Tempest. And as mentioned before, I am using a set of pickups that I call my baseline set. When I really want to know what a guitar is giving me, this is the set that I'll throw in. This is a Seymour Duncan Jazz and a DiMarzio Evolution. And I will actually do some clean tones in a few minutes, but right now I just want to hear what it has to offer me in the realm of everything else. All right, let's see what we can get here. Yeah, I know. I see it. I see it there. This guitar is sounding much better with the Evolution in it. And again, we were talking about the UV, the ultraviolet bridge pickup from Aurora Tone. And I just think there is nothing, no knocks on that pickup whatsoever. It was just, I'm realizing now once I put the bass line set in here that this guitar is actually voiced in sort of a unique way. I'm sort of used to in a lot of guitars, not all, but some guitars, a lot of Ibanez RGs and a lot of the Ibanez guitars are sort of throw stuff in them and it always works, right? There are a few guitars that I have that are very, very picky about pickups. One of those guitars is my Ibanez Destroyer. I've tried several different sets in that guitar, and some of them worked, and some of them very much did not. Whereas I feel like an Ibanez RG or pretty much any Ibanez Super Strat shape, whether it's the RG or the J Custom RG shapes or whatever it is, I feel like that shape is sort of just like you put anything in it, and the pickups will sound like the pickups. Not to say that those guitars are void of like tonal characteristics, but I just feel like anything works in there. Whereas this guitar, I feel just is going to be one of those guitars where we're going to have to do some testing to make sure that we get things where it needs to be. And so far with the evolution in here, it sounds pretty good, but I'm noticing that it could probably use something that's got a little bit more of a scoop in the mids and not so much of maybe a little bit less on the low end as well. I found the ultraviolet bridge pickup would probably be better for like an Ibanez RG type guitar. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that bridge pickup, whether I'm going to send it back to him and he's going to maybe, auction it off as like a B stock, or if it's maybe going to go up, we're going to do a contest. We have a few options that we're going to consider. So yeah, we're going to see where we go from there, guys. Mayones, I've heard it said a few different ways. That company is actually making a gigantic gigantic resurgence, man. Huge resurgence. All the kids that were buying headless guitars are now selling their headless guitars. Their parents probably have at least another 17 payments to make on that guitar too. You know, that sucks. But they're all getting like these $4,000 and $5,000 and $6,000 or $7,000, $8,000 Mayones. I don't know exactly how to say that name. And man, those guitars are worth a lot of money. They are gorgeous guitars. I'm not kidding you. Those things are beautiful, beautiful instruments. But I don't understand sometimes I just don't understand where people get the money for certain things. Because man, gosh, if you're working in like, you're just an average 23-year-old, 24, 25-year-old, where are you getting $8,000 from? Where? It's very strange to me. It's just the average, content creator, they're getting like, no, I'm not shaking a stick at this because we get nothing close to this, but they're getting like 50K, 60K, views on their videos. I still don't understand how that equates into $7,000 guitar. And those headless guitars that we saw, like, all the Strandbergs and everything that were out there, and headless are still good and they're still like, selling and stuff, but I just don't feel like thankfully, it's not as big a thing where like everyone has a headless now, right? This is. As mentioned more than a few times, I had the pleasure of working on this project with Audiority. I'm just using the Dead Horse here, which is a pretty awesome. If you haven't tried this guy yet, man, wow, it's an amazing tube screamer. And it's funny because you say that this is the ideal Dino Fear Factory sound. I would agree that this is definitely one of the plugins where you could get that Dino sound. I don't think he used the valve state on Fear Factory material though. I think he used it on, what was the band he had with that that huge douchebag lead singer? What was that band? The singer's name was like sounded like he's like a wrestler. It was like a wrestler's name. It was like Bobby Hex or something like Tommy Gunn, something ridiculous like that. I can't remember the band. What was that band called? It was really good. And like Tim Jungen was in the band as well. The dude that plays in like the one half of that Morbid Angel. There's two more Morbid Angel bands. Is it Tim Jung is his name, right? That dude's a monster drummer as well. Nope. Not Brujeria. Nope. It's Divine Heresy? Was that it? Divine Heresy? That was the era where he was using the valve state. He's used a lot of really strange amps ever since his Marshall Metalhead was stolen. After that, he went to like mostly modelers for a really long time. He was using the Line 6 Veta heads when they were like blowing up and melting on stage. I don't know if one ever melted for him, but I know for a while those amps were like, if you ran them long enough and hot enough, when the very first generation of Vetas that came out they were setting on fire. What the fuck? Oh gosh. What? Our blind cat, he falls asleep on everything. And he fell asleep on a box. He loves this box he jumps up on, he falls asleep, but then he likes to sleep on the edge of things. So bananas that he is a blind cat and he likes to sleep on the edge of surfaces. And then what happens? Well, he tries to, and then we always try to save him before he falls off. But just now he almost fell off the box there and he's all freaked out. So. Really? Saw him in 92. He was using, that is what he should be using. I never understood that. Why he never just continued to use like 5150s. Man. This is a rad song. Guys, it's gonna be a long boy of a stream today, so get your drinks in you, get your herbal entertainment in you, and you're like, man, where I live right now, it's like 1 o'clock in the fucking afternoon, dude. It's Saturday. There's no start or end time for feeling good on weekend. So make sure you grab yourself a glass of wine, grab yourself a beverage, preferably not a crafted IPA, but if that's your jam, I'm just kidding. We're going to go from plug-in to plug-in today, and I can't wait. This guitar is, I'm really liking it better, a lot better with a different bridge pickup. Not, again, no disrespect, man, to Aurora Tone, but as you guys should be aware, when you buy a guitar stock, it comes with pickups that are where they've done that, they've done the math already of what types of pickups are going to be good for that particular wood and that body and everything else. When you put your own set of pickups in, or when you get a guitar that's been modified and there's a different set of pickups in it, it may not work. And that is just the reality of buying pickups, and the very clear reality of why I have a giant freaking box of pickups, premium pickups for sale. And, I just haven't gotten around to putting them on Reverb yet. When I do, though, we're going to post the link. I'll just let you guys know what it is during streams, and you guys can check it out. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be offering discounts during streams on items. On items, we'll be doing discounts during streams. I'm going to try to set things up that way. So yeah, it should be fun. All right, let's go through this a little bit. And I'm going to turn this up. So that was like the top end I wasn't quite getting yesterday. Okay, a little too much. This is using Kettner Pure Tone from Membrini Audio. I like this for chugs, just thrash chugs and chuggity chugs. This thing is really not supposed to metal, and I had a couple of influencers that I reached out to wanting to see if they wanted to do a demo. And there was a couple of different influencers like, nah, that's not gonna suit my style. And I'm like, but it does metal. They're like, yeah, I checked out some demos on the amp, and I don't think it's gonna do any metal. And I said, well, it does metal. And then a couple people were just not feeling it and saying that it probably would not do metal. I disagree. I think it does metal just fine. I mean, this is the tuning this guitar was meant to be in. And you're like, wow, shouldn't guitars be designed for every tuning? Not every guitar, no. In fact, I personally, like when I listen to a Les Paul and I hear a Les Paul in E, I'm like, it's got to be lower than E. When I hear a Strat that's tuned way down, I'm like, no, it's got to be up closer to E. You know what I mean? Like a Telecaster, a standard scale Telecaster, that when I hear one being tuned like low on the low, unless it's one of them big baritone boys, I'm like, I don't know, man. Chill out. Let it do its thing in like E flat, D maybe. You know what I mean? I know everybody should love Membrini. Such a fanboy. Geez, hey, yeah, you should be. You should be, because it's got great shit, man. Not everybody is going to like every developer, but I really feel that, like Pedro, like every member of this team, our minds are open to every single developer on the market. For example, there is a newer developer, not newer to many, a company that does the zero marketing. They don't do marketing. It doesn't seem like they do a lot of marketing, or it doesn't seem like they do any advertising or promotions, and they do not give out NFRs in exchange for content, as far as I understand it. And so you're not going to hear a lot, but there is a developer out there called DB Quattro. And we're going to go back to the playlist because I'm just getting cheese-dicked at this point. Cheesed off. And not to say that album isn't good, but I just kind of like, Anyways. One thing about it, like going from developer to developer, making sure that you have a good beat on everything that's happening in the industry is always a good idea. Check out more than one developer. It's fine to just, love one developer more than another, but man, go and check around, look and find things. There's just, there's so many developers out there making amazing quality stuff these days. This being one of said developers, we can just make this huge. Yeah, buddy. This thing is staying... Oh, it just loves this tuning. It fucking loves this tuning. Dude, what do you like about that Nembrini plugin? Some people don't like it. I get it. I think it chugs great. It has one sound. It's going to be different for your guitar. In fact, I think I might bring it back a little bit like this. I think that's, to me, that sounds pretty good. The Rock Driver sounds really good. And it's not, is it going to be everyone's bag? No, it's not going to be everyone's bag. It's got a lot of top, there's a lot of top end on it for sure, though. You got to be careful with it. You'll find it takes a second to dial in. Once you find it, you'll find it. You will find it, I promise. So I'm just hanging out today. We're just hanging out with the various plugins. And I'm just going through this bad boy right here, just putting it through its paces, trying to find a nice pickup match, taking it through some familiar territory with some familiar plugins. I am also going to be, at some point, it's going to be, I think today. I don't want to steer anybody in the wrong direction, but at some point we're going to be doing a thermionic stream. That should be fun. So, Rudy, are you saying you dislike that plugin? Mercurial Amp Box Marshall should be a great pair. I mean, I have a pretty good Marshall set up right here for now. Pop. Pop, pop. I like the new look of it in Nembrini stuff, and that's cool if you don't like it though. Like, we are all different people that like different stuff, right? I mean, that is what it is. We are all different folks that like different strokes and different, and that's the reason there are so many products out there that have such a high level of quality. Thomas, I don't have, hang on. I don't have it updated. I need to update that plugin before I use it in a stream. But this is another bunch of familiar territory. This is another plugin. This is one of my favorite plugins ever. I'm going to be trying it with this. I'm also going to be doing some leads. And then I'm going to grab the Harley Benton JA baritone that I have tuned from E. Like a standard bass. And we're going to hear, this thing sounds like a ridiculous bulldozer at this point. Absolutely, the thing sounds incredible. Punchy. So yeah, I think the pickup that will be good for this will be something that's going to be maybe a little more scooped, but we'll see. So as soon as they start turning the mids up to where I would put them on some things, it starts to get really... You really start to hear this guitar. This guitar has that... There's a big mid... There's lots of strength in that midsection. I don't necessarily want to stifle it, but if I have something that's got a little bit more of a valley in that mid, find that right scooped section. If I do that, the mids will still be there, and I don't have to be afraid to kind of get a little bit more creative in the mid section of an amp without really just overblowing things. So we'll see what we've got in mind. All right, tune. This tuner is also money. This is the D'Addario something. It's got a big old bright LED display. It's probably going to eat batteries. Like, they included a battery with it, so my guess is it's going to eat batteries. When they include a battery, you know, it's probably going to eat them. And a lot of the, you know, the brighter, a lot of the brighter tuners with the nice bright displays, a lot of them do eat batteries. How's it going? Muad'Dib, I got your email. I'm just waiting on a response from Kawasa. They had a busy week. And I'll likely hear from them after this weekend. Gonna bring back the bass a little bit as well. Little bit out of tune. Emptiness. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a great day. It's gonna be what could be wrong with this day? Absolutely nothing. I was thinking Nazgul as well, but the Nazgul has it's a a pretty hot pickup, is it not? What's the output or the DCR rather? All right, see what we got going on in the cabs, or just nuke the cab and go with our own cab for a minute or two. Bow to me. Oops. Idiot. I wanted to try something here. Yeah. And this plugin sounds great as always. 13.8. Intriguing. I really am going to try to go with something from... he's suggesting a Singularity. I really want to give Cody a shot at making... That's why I put this set in. To really try to, instead of like having him send me another pickup, just to drill it out for direct mounting and then have it not work out. I would rather see if I can get the profile of the guitar down with a pickup that I know everything about, that what the Evo is going to give me, and I know kind of it makes it really easy to kind of figure out the profile for the guitar. Ceramic, it's going to be something a little bit scooped. It's going to be something, I don't want insane output. I want something that's going to have some clarity. So we're going to try, as mentioned, we're going to try a Singularity, but you guys can look through the Aurora Tone pickups and some of the curves and some of the different models and let me know what you guys think I should try next in this guitar to pair with the wonderful neck pickup. Really love the neck pickup, by the way. Dumb idea, put an EMG 81. Yeah, you know, I actually did just imagine, look at it. Okay, guys, drink it in. Now imagine this guitar with white EMGs with the gold logo. I can't even, I would sound, oh my goodness, it would be amazing. EMG 81 here. Dude, there's plenty of room in the route for the 18 volt. Do the SPC. Oh, it would be so good. But that being said, there are a lot of options I would like to go down. There are a lot of options, things I would like to try and track down prior to that. That being said, guys, this is about the midpoint of the stream. Time. What are we at, guys? We have for time. Actually, never mind. I'll just look. We are about an hour and 6 minutes at this point. All right, I'm going to keep chugging a little bit on this, and then we are going to do a break, and I will come back at you with the big boy. But I think I just want to use this for a little bit longer, and find a couple of different products that will be unreal with it. And one thing I think I want to try today is we're going to go with Amp Hub. It's something, there's a lot of amps in here that I can use as a point of reference. And this is just such a sick plugin with so many possibilities. Great first starting point, the Ignite Amps Emissary. Okay, so that's the Emissary. You guys are well aware of the Emissary and how great it can be. I'm going to get a couple other things I want to try today, and one of those things is this thing right here. This thing is awesome. This is the JSX, or not known as the JSX, of course, here, but all right, let's see what we got. All right, I think we've got a winner. For a pedal, we've got the Tyrant Screamer. Tyrants! 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 You don't know what that refers to? Well, I have to leave you on your own. We're going to load up the 505. We're going to load up the Ploops. And we're going to load up the... Why not? See what we got here. Start off with the 33, aka in this case not the 33, something else. They call it something else. They call it something else. I'm not sure what it's called. Nope, gotta take a little bit out. Nice. We are getting there. Oh boy, then. All right, got to tune. All right, let's get to the comments here. Sorry, guys. I love the hardball. I've already asked Igor if he was considering going back and redoing and just doing like X versions almost, and just giving them, like he kind of did that with the new cabinet section that came along about 4 plugins in for him, or 5 plugins in maybe. I'm not sure when it came in. I'm not sure. Hey, vote for Pedro. I posted that in our group chat when I was like, hey guys, I think it's time for Pedro. It's coming into the group chat. Vote for Pedro. And I put the little sign, vote for Pedro. If it was my guitar, I'd put a Jazz and an SH6. What is the SH6? What is the model name of that? Or is it just SH6? Because I tried the Custom 5 in another guitar. I really did not like the Custom 5 very much. It did not. All right, let's try it with a Screamer, but something that's not quite so aggressive in those mids. All right. My hat. I don't hit it. Got a bolt. Mr. Moonshine. Cheers, buddy. Nice to see you. Emissary is my first amp sim. Yeah, man. That was a lot of people's first amp sim. Still to this day, it still works. I feel like this song comes up a lot. No. No. Yeah, there we go. Distortion. The Duncan distortion? I didn't like the way he did the 6505 again. What do you mean? You mean the two 6505s? Well, there's a difference between the 6505 and the 6505 Plus, though. There is a difference. And I didn't mind that at all. I didn't mind. Let's take, I know Pip would want, what? Ah, here we go. Oops. Yeah. No, it's not. So I need EVH. There we go. Let's try this one because I know like this one's gotten better. So let's just let's rock with this one for a little bit. Let's see. Nice. That's pretty sweet, right? All right. Hang on a sec here, guys. Okay. I'll bring some of those lows back. Guys are trying to get my momps in here, and before we take a quick break, really trying to figure out exactly what this guitar is going to need for a set of pickups. The ultraviolets are great, and happy for all these suggestions. They're all great suggestions. I really do want to see if we can find something cool with Aurora Tone first. What I really wanted to do originally before the Aurora Tone, option came into play, is I was originally thinking about going with a set of white DiMarzios with gold poles, and they would have been probably just fine. But Aurora Tone is doing something really, really great, and they're doing it. It's Canadian made, and I definitely want to support Canadian made. And man, this guy makes some really nice stuff made out of like the highest quality materials. I took the pickups out and realized like the bottom of them are like CNC cut, the plates, the base plates are substantial, and you hold it and say, holy shit, that's a well-made pickup. So I really do appreciate everything that, I did tell Cody ahead of time. I warned him. I was like, I've got the pickiest set of ears, and I think this is going to be the best way to try to figure out what the guitar needs by just going with a set that I'm really, really, really comfortable with. I know what it's going to give me. I know I just need to do this and then find the profile of this guitar and then go from there. So, guys, I'm going to be back in about 2 or 3 minutes when we come back with the big old baritone beast. Shaq will be joining me. And we're going to make some big old beefy sounds, talk about the Harley Benton guitars a little bit, and it's exactly the opposite of this. So, I mean, but everybody's on a different price point, and this is definitely the nicest guitar I've ever owned in my entire life. But the most of my instruments, as you guys are aware, are all very cost effective, a lot of refurbished stuff, a lot of stuff I bought on Marketplace and buy and sells, etc., that needed some work or were missing parts or non-functional, as the layman's terms may be. And a lot of, saved a lot of instruments. Those instruments have wear and tear. And this is just something that is on another level from anything I've ever owned. So please, while I'm gone, take the 2-3 minutes to go and check out the Meinzinger guitars. Their website's cool, but check out some of the social media, some of the builds he's done. And I really feel like this is going to be a builder that you're going to hear a lot more about in the coming years. Just the fact that he's made the insane investment of, not that it's insane to do it, but he made like his new workshop is breathtaking. Honestly, guys, it's breathtaking. It's a place I would like to work if I knew how to do anything with wood whatsoever. That is one of the talents I lack in life. The only talents I have with wood is cutting it. And that's about it, folks. So again, handmade, handcrafted, CNC free. This is all handmade with a human being's hands. And my wife and I literally took this out of the case and looked at it and just sat there like, holy shit. Like, the talent it must take for human beings to build a guitar with their bare hands, and not like, and my goodness, I have just the utmost respect for all luthiers out there, all folks building their own guitars, even if it's just your hobby at home, you're only building for yourself, whatever it is. If you're out there and you have the talent to build a fucking guitar like this, holy cow. And the price point for what you are getting is absolutely bananas. That is one of the main reasons I really wanted to work with Meinzingers, because I really feel like this is the nicest custom shop instrument that you can buy for the dollar right now. I don't think there's a better deal for a completely handmade custom instrument to your specs than there is right now with companies like Meinzinger. There are a few companies out there doing things at around the same price point to kind of build things up a little bit. And man, he is doing things at a price that is actually available and reachable for even people on a modest budget. I feel like it is an amount of money that could work. But second half, we're going to show you guys, guitars aren't always about the money. We're going to show you guys in the next half of this stream by the time I'm done with it, like a $200 or $300 guitar that sounds like it is literally a war machine. And I will be back in about 3 minutes. Check out that website in the meantime, and I'll see you guys in just a few. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being part of this community and checking out these streams and giving your hard-earned time, free time, to listening to us talk about nerdy stuff. Appreciate you guys. Hi, everybody. I'm going to try my best to scare people when I come back now. Just be like, whoa! Coming in hot. Big boy, my bad. What happened? Tyler, my bad. Ah! What happened? What'd you do? Do I have to kick you out? Just kidding. Oh, no. Where'd my tuner go? Did I put that in my pocket as well? Oh, no. Ow. Good thing I got a backup here. It sucks, though. There's the good ones over there. I gotta use this one now. Oh, well. We'll get it. All right, I'm experimenting with 2 tunings for this. It's going to be E standard. And E standard is going to be the jam for this one, I think, or E flat. We'll see. All right, guys, this is going to be beefy. All right, let's do this. Go to Ampcraft again, because I just know what it's going to give me from the get-go. And let's get going. Now that's beefy, but wrong settings. I need to go back to my standard settings there. All right, let's see what we got here. There's a lot of hum coming off these boys. These are not noiseless. So I'm going to bring back the gain, and then I'm going to relax the pedal a little bit here, and then see what we still have. This is an 84 to 24. All 6 strings are wound. Bananas. Bananas. I don't know what have I done here? Stream keeps anyone else. You might have always refreshed, guys. Even before, like, taking it to the chat. Always refresh once before you do it. But yeah, I mean, if it absolutely froze for like freezes solid for you, though, yeah, then ask a question for sure. Yeah, Eddie. I cannot tell you how strange it feels to have 6 wound strings and have it not actually be a bass. I've only played a 6-string bass like once in my whole life. This thing is like a gent nu metal machine. This is all stock right now. I'm going to replace these pickups. But the fact that I paid what I paid for this instrument is fucking insane. This is in US dollars, like a $220 guitar. Now let's discuss this guitar we're going to discuss it a little bit. When I got this guitar though, the frets were maybe the worst frets I'd ever seen. Partially because the guitar was in the mid postal strike, as you guys remember me bitching about it all the time. Mid postal strike, and it was probably in a really dry area for some time. And be it what it is, the fret ends were complete madness. Madness. So what I had to do is, because I can do that work, I've spent roughly about 5 or 6 hours on the frets on this guitar. And after doing that and making a couple of other, just doing a really nice setup and the frets cleaned up so nice. The neck feels terrific. For being a big boy. I'm really, really, really surprised at this guitar. It does need a neck adjustment, so I will do that. I'll do that later, to be honest. Or do I want to do it now? Let's see. How off is it? It could use a neck tighten. That's for sure. It could use a tightening. I wasn't sure about E. E seemed a bit much for these strings. I really kind of wanted a bit more slack, so I may drop it down, and we'll see where I'm at that point. But one off note. All right. So this is not sounding bad at all. And I went through a few different stages of thoughts on pickups for this. I actually thought there was going to be room under here, because one of the videos I saw looked like there was actually going to be room to like kind of a more open cavity underneath the pick guard. So I was like, oh, should be okay for humbuckers. And I have humbuckers here I can just use and whatever. But then at that point, I was like, well, I looked underneath and realized, okay, well, there is not room for that at all. In fact, there is just enough room, and only enough room, for the soap bar style P90 with with no ears either. Like if there are even ears on a pickup, like the soap bar style, or a mini humbucker, I'm going to have to go and it wouldn't be a tough job at all. It's just, I have a rotary tool with a sanding wheel that's perfect for doing those little ears. So you would just kind of go up and just do it's awesome. It looks like it was professionally part of the body. So I could do that, but I don't want to. I just really don't want to. So I really want to go the P90 route after hearing these and hearing that different kind of snarl to these. I'm going to go and I looked around for noiseless. It was tough to find a bridge pickup P90 soap bar with a ceramic magnet. There was really only like one option. And I was like, well, okay, let's maybe that. And then I was talking with Cody at Aurora Tone, and we have an idea. And I think the idea is going to be fun. So that being said, we'll kind of move along from that. Just making sure. Spill it, Eddie. 200 euros, man. It's so cheap. And I'm not going to lie to you, though. If you're going to have to pay, you're either going to have to do fret work or you're going to have to pay someone to do fret work. And it might cost you a couple $100. If like in the amount of work I did, if I had to pay my mentor / my friend to do it, it would have probably cost me $250 worth of fret work, roughly $200 to $250. Now, if you put that into consideration, that is still, if only a $400 instrument, I'm not going to lie to you guys, $400 for this guitar in this condition, like with these frets feeling and looking and playing and feeling this good, I'm telling you, this guitar is absolutely worth $400, $500, $600. I would say it could be worth up to $500 US, maybe even more. If there were noiseless pickups in here, this would be a $600 or maybe $700-800 guitar. So, absolute high value instrument. The tuners are not bad. They are definitely vintage. They are definitely sort of like driving a car from the 80s in comparison to now, where like the power steering is a very different jam. If you've ever driven a car from like the 70s or even 60s, turning that wheel, boy, you got to have a little bit more jam to that. But now with modern power steering, you can steer with one finger and just play some light jazz. You can get a used Schecter baritone or a higher end Amrock Harley Benton. I'm just saying, I'm telling you right now, if you were to put $200 into this guitar, I'm not shitting you, $200 into this guitar, it will play like it. This guitar plays like $1,200 instrument. I'm not saying it sounds like that right now, but as far as how it feels and plays, it feels like a stock instrument. If you put a good setup into this and really get the frets done nicely polished, because they came with lots of these were not polished frets, guys. There was like grime on them, like they needed work. But after that work and you polish these things up, these frets are nice frets, no buzzing frets, no I had to do almost no fret leveling, nothing. It was just the fret ends and a polish. That's all I did. There was no fret buzzing. It's a well-built machine. These pickups, if they were noiseless, would be fucking perfect, and I would not need to do a damn thing. So yeah, I would say this is absolutely worth every dollar. And if you have some work done to it, pardon me, it's going to be worth more. But if the models you're talking about though, Rudy, the higher end, like the Amrock, that's going to need fretwork too. All of those cheap instruments, all of the affordable instruments are going to need fretwork. And that's something that there are a lot of people that are hyping up the affordable guitars right now. And as we're talking, I'm just going to do this neck adjustment. So a lot of people are talking and about these affordable guitars and how amazing they are. And I would agree. I would absolutely agree that these guitars are it's amazing what they're doing with affordable guitars these days. It truthfully is incredible what they're doing with affordable guitars. I will say that in absolution. It is so much different than when I was a kid. Is it seriously just going to be my regular? For realsies? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. All right, so let's see if we nailed it there. We probably did. Yep. Okay, now we can get back to business. And if you don't know how to, again, if every time I talk about a neck adjustment, if you don't know how to do your own truss rod adjustments, you really are just giving somebody, either you're playing some jacked up guitars, you are playing some guitars that are jacked up. If you don't know how to do a truss rod, you must be very unhappy with your instruments. I would tell you that. Speaking of tyrants, it's like just comes on. I called for it. It put it in the queue for me. Thanks, algorithm. And this, if you're curious and not sure, this Immortal. Now that's a unique guitar sound. And I did to tell you, man, I think Abbott's signature guitar is awesome. I love his signature guitar. I think it's great. What do they call it? Like a Warhawk or something. I almost bought it. I really did almost buy it. I was so close, and I was like, nah, I really wanted to buy it when it first came out. I'm not even sure if it's still for sale. I will say, though, again, Rudy, to that testament, this guitar's handled the weather pretty well. It handled being in really cold temps when it was delivered, to where I was kind of worried about it. It acclimated really well with no warps, no nothing. This guitar has been on the hanger and in a box through some pretty extreme temperature changes from like minus 45 Celsius right now. Like today, it's like minus 5 Celsius. So and it has done really well. I would have thought 30-inch scale, just a single truss rod. Normally with the longer scales, you like to start seeing those dual truss rods, but I mean, that's more for width as well, as opposed to just length, width and length. But maybe not necessarily. A lot of baritones don't have the dual truss rod, but when you start getting more strings, the longer scale length, definitely. But in this case, I really did not expect this guitar to be as nice as it turned out to be. Man, this thing is just beefy. And when these come out, I'll be giving them away to somebody. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff I got to ship. And I'm going to try to get better with shipping stuff. But yeah, these are going to come out eventually. And if you're out there, we'll do some sort of... If there's somebody out there that's actually interested in these pickups sound pretty good. Gnarly. If they were noiseless, I would keep them. Absolutely not. They didn't know I was a streamer. No, they didn't know I was a streamer. I would have felt like such a freaking chiseler being like, hey guys, I'm just contacting you about this $200 guitar. Like, I'm a streamer and I've got 400 subscribers. Do you guys think you could give me a discount on that guitar? Man, I would have felt like the biggest beta male chiseler Just like, that's just such a weak sauce move. Weak sauce. No, I did not. They didn't know I was a streamer, but they did. You can tell with Firefly, they're doing some aggressive marketing. Also, Guitar Fetish just paid Glenn Frigger. I guess though, Frick and Frig, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Glenn's doing a lot of affordable guitar stuff these days, and that's cool. I don't mind that at all. I like that about his channel. But there's this new guitar, SBS guitars. It sort of looks like a Super Strat Kramer type thing. And apparently it's very cheap, very, very, very cheap. So Guitar Fetish stuff can be hit and miss. I will be honest with you. Like, a lot of the stuff I've seen from there has been really good, but I also got a body from there once that was a catastrophe. It looked like the holes, it looked like things had been done with, like, someone was blindfolded and drunk. Like, when the QC, like, there's no QC. There's not a lot of QC. But now I think QC is getting better for stuff that's made in, like, you know, Indonesia. Korea's never been suspect for QC at all. Like, in world music. World Music Instruments or something? It's a strange, or a World Music Instrument. Something like that. But a lot of people just call it World Music. It's a very, very, very large factory in Korea where it's like Schecter and Chapman and Solar and all bunch of different places. I don't know if it still makes Solar, but back in the day, and they also make Ormsby and everything that you see that's like every guitar made in Korea, I think comes from this one factory. I don't know if there are multiple, but it seems like there's one very, very large factory there that does a lot. And the QC is getting better in a lot of these places. Whereas I feel like with some Guitar Fetish stuff I've seen in the past, you're just like, whoa. If I was to ever go and build a guitar again from random parts, I would 100%. Oh, I want to do a full-on Warmoth build. I've never done a full-on Warmoth build. I've used their necks, I've used their bodies, I've used some other things. But I've never full-on just done a full Warmoth build. I've had friends that did it. I've helped with a few of them. I've seen a lot of them. And they end up being some of the nicest freaking guitars, man. And even if you go and end up spending like $1,000 on Warmoth parts, you're going to build a guitar that eventually is going to play like and feel like something that's worth $2,000. You know what I mean? If it's set up and put together properly. And if it's everything is, and normally they'll let you know at Warmoth if something is, and even Guitar Fetish will also let you know if some stuff that you bought will not fit together. Like, man, you bought this neck and this guitar, and we're just noticing that we're wondering are you intending on putting these together, or are you intending on using these for different projects? At that point, you can be like, no, I was going to put them together. They'll tell you, nah, it's not going to work like that. You'll have to do some modifications, and that, you know, and then you'll tell them, yeah, I've got a friend at whatever, this and that. So if you've never done a Warmoth build, I think there's also, Thoman or whatever you want to call it, also has similar service where you can get quality parts and build some fun things. But yes, Firefly guitars do also interest me. There's one made by Firefly, a couple made by Firefly now. There's one that, man, the dime guitar, holy cow, the dime guitar that Firefly made, that must have been subject to some lawyers looked at that stuff. You know that, like, lawyers and Rita and a bunch of people probably looked at that real careful. All right, let's go to a different plugin. We're going to go to Amp Hub. We're going to go back to Amp Hub. And we're just going to create some random stuff. Oh, that was going to be loud. It was going to be loud. Man, beef. So much beef. I don't know that it loves being in this E. We'll see, though. I am going. It's holding tuning really well. It's really holding the tuning really well. And it's so bananas to be able to play a guitar that's in a bass tuning. I know exactly what I am intending on using this for. I am intending on at some point, I am going to use this for clean tones to see if I can get out of my nose cat hair. I'm going to use it for some country clean tones. We're going to do like a twang stream, and I'm going to see if we can do get some twangy tones out of these P90s, which will be fun. It's Schecter, LTD, Solar, Jackson. There are more though, Rudy. They do contracts for a lot of builders. Korean DML is crazy different from my Chinese ones. Yeah, they would be for sure. Solar are built in Spain now. I thought they were at least at one point done in Korea. Maybe. Were they at one point done in Korea? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong, but I know Chapman, Ormsby, and a few other places were doing them at this World Music. I wonder when streamers do it, they cherry pick the good ones. No, they don't cherry pick, but they'll just offer you money. Straight up. Straight up, they just offer you. I don't know how much money they're offering because I haven't been approached yet because I could not be more of a nobody. I could not be more of a nobody. They're not reaching out to me with any kind of anything. And what I did reach out to them for is I told them that, listen, guys, you guys should make I like aftermarket pick guards for this in various colors so that people can like customize that instrument. And they're just like, yeah, probably not there, dude. Like, nah, guy. I also had the idea of potentially making this a bridge pickup only guitar because you go on eBay, there is one place that's doing aftermarket pickguards for this, and any color, any material you can think of. There's like 40 different choices for what you can get the pickguard. You can also get it wired, so you can also get it routed however you want. You can get like this could be a three-way blade instead, which I was loosely considering as going with a three-way blade instead of the three-way toggle. I was also thinking about making it maybe just a bridge pickup only and just a single fucking knob. Just a bunch of different options. A bunch of different options came up in my brain, so... I'm having fun with it, and if you guys are interested in a 30-inch baritone at all, this is your jam. This is going to be your jam, guys. Go and buy one of these. They're fun to play. It's going to need a bit of work, as mentioned. I'm not going to take you guys into it thinking it's a perfect instrument out of the box. I know Seuss on our team here had a lot of luck with his straight out of the box, and I know seemingly a couple of other people did as well. I actually the demo that gave me the kind of the confidence to buy this was the Andrew Baina demo, because Andrew Baina is he's Canadian for starters, and I find that he's very honest. He doesn't promote crap. Usually anyways. I haven't seen any videos from him where he's promoted garbage of any kind. Just there's no garbage, no nothing. So when I saw him do this, I knew there's a guarantee or a high likelihood that he was paid for that demo, but it doesn't matter because he still made the guitar sound really good. And he had some good things to say about it. The other one that I watched most of them were like, oh, this thing's amazing and blah, blah, blah. You could tell that they just wanted to get a demo for it because it was a very hyped instrument. There's a couple other ones. There's this one dude that straight up sawed a chunk off the guitar. Sawed a chunk off this thing just to show that, like, hey, this is quality. This is some fucking high quality shit right here. Like, he pulled things apart. He went through every single component of the guitar with an experienced and veteran tech / luthier's eyes, and went through all the ups, all the downs, and said basically at the end that yes, with some work, this is a really nice instrument. And if you know how to do the work, you can buy one of these and have it playing really nice and be part of your collection and be something different. And that's what I said. Yes, that's the one that gave me the confidence. The first one from Andrew Bain, I said, oh man, he made it sound good. This guy said, yeah, some of these components are, but it's nothing that's not replaceable. You got to do some fret work and blah, 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 blah. The guitar's yours and have fun. And so that's what we did here. We had some fun with it. And I'm not quite done yet as far as what I'm going to do with it. But man, it's a fun project. And a lot of people are modifying these. A lot of people are modifying these guitars. And I've found lots of content. Boy, did I find a lot of content. Okay, we'll bring that back. This up. And let's see what we got now. Bump, mop, mop. That's the jam right there, guys. Okay, we're going to bring that up a little bit. It's a little bit. What do we got going on here for the pedal? Okay. So we're going to take some of that, shave some of that off. DB Quadro. Yeah, we were talking about that company earlier. You don't think they cherry pick guitars for Ola or Kyle Bull? Hold on a second. Has anyone played a Solar? Man, I haven't played a Solar, but in Europe, those guitars are everywhere. He's done a pretty masterful job at recruiting artists and some pretty big names to his company, and he's done a really good job. I have no hate for Ola whatsoever. I have some. I resented Ola a little bit for a couple of demos that I thought he did that were just lacked inspiration. And I think if you take money for a demo, you ought to just make sure that you do the best, absolute best job. And there was one demo that just kind of cheesed me for a little bit, but beyond that, and not really enjoying his tube screamer settings for all purposes and amps, the only two things I think I ever disagreed with him on, really. And so I think he's done a masterful job. I would love to get a Solar someday and try it out. I've heard they're really nice guitars. I have a couple of friends that have one. I've never tried one. And I would actually really like to. So I think maybe I'll look into trying a Solar at some point in the next not so near future, maybe. I've got a lot of instruments already. I really don't need a Solar, but I wouldn't mind trying one at some point just so I can know. Just I want to find out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to know if something is rad or not. Yeah, man, DB Quadro. And if you buy anything from DB Quadro, can you please name drop us? Or any developer, for that matter. If they give you an option to say, how did you hear about us? Or why did you buy this? Or anything like that, man, just like name drop us, guys. Let some of the developers, like most developers that we have a good relationships with, they know we're here and they know what we do and they like what we do. But there are some developers that we're just not in touch with and that don't know that we're here. So if you ever purchase anything from like Kazrog, for example, I mean, I know I've talked to Shane many times, but he's a busy guy and I don't know that he knows what we do here. And DB Quattro is another company that we've reached out to. It's just haven't had a response from them at all. See if they wanted to do something with us, maybe do a little contest or anything like that to, scoot some things out there and do like a groundswell type approach to things. But that being said, I think I'm going to be trying them out in a stream in the next little while. A few of them, I don't know that Eddie has been raving about them in the group chat. I think it's definitely time that I give them a shot and give them like a shot. Being that we've talked about this before is trust. I would never come on here and try something blind with you guys from a developer I've never tried anything from in the past. I would never do that. Cat hair. I would never do that. Why? Because it just sets everything up for like an awkward potential situation. However, if it's a developer that we've all heard of and that we've all had created this trust with, like Nimbrini Audio, like Audiority, like Neural DSP, STL Tones, and there's a number of these companies, WaveMind, and a number of these companies that are we just know what everything they're bringing is going to have and carry a level of quality that we're not going to be too concerned about going in. That being said, always try before you buy, try before you buy, try before you buy. Every company that gives you a free, unrestricted, or even semi-restricted trial, there's no reason for buyer's remorse. There's no reason for bad reviews from customers. I see that fairly often. You see it on a certain developer. Their fans are those very impulsive people that will just buy straight away and then be very quick to point out that something they don't like about the plugin, or they try it and will be quick to point out things they don't like about the plugin. But I just don't understand the reasoning for that. It's all super avoidable and unnecessary. If you don't like something, you don't like it, but you don't need to talk about it. That's what we like to do here is we don't really like to talk about the things we don't like, except for Positive Grid. I'm going to take that on. This is crap in a box. It's a crap in a box. Crap in a box. Yeah, that's apart from that company. There's nothing I'm going to drag through the mud, and I don't see the reason. If there's something that's wrong with a plugin, guys, always get in touch with the developer and let them know, hey, this is kind of jacked up. This is kind of weird. And then they will tell you, hey, it's actually the problem's on your end here. You're doing something wrong and you're not using it right. Or they'll say, hey, thanks for the tip. We actually have some work to do on that section. Or yeah, a lot of people have echoed your concern, and then they can actually do something about it as opposed to posting on like a social media ad. And those are the worst people. They do it on the ad and they'll be like, man, this plugin sucks. I don't like the this and that, and it doesn't work on my mom's 15-year-old laptop. I don't like it. It was too expensive too. Like stuff like that. Like don't do that. It's very silly because they're never going to see it. Almost no one's going to see those comments on ads are, man, they're just going to, you're throwing it down, just throw it right into the abyss. Here's the problem with this tuning. I feel like it really sounds like I'm playing a bass now. The power chords are sounding a little bit more like a bass and a little bit less of a guitar. So yes, I like this tuning. Don't know necessarily about these the string. The string thickness feels great though. I really like that. Don't ever think I'm going to use these top strings, though, because when I tried to play a couple of chords with it earlier, it sounded kind of bananas. So we're not even going to go to that at that point right now. This is E. This is E standard for a bass. It's E standard for a bass, buddy. Really loving the DB Quattro stuff, and I'd really like to get on that dude's radar. I would too, man, because it's one thing I like to promote is the developers that don't spend a ton on marketing. There's so much that can be done with a groundswell approach, where if you reach a bunch of small, like even smaller content creators that have good quality, and I think there are a lot of developers out there that are really hung up on follower and subscriber counts. They're really hung up on that. And here's why I don't like that. If you're a smaller or an even mid-level developer and you're not spending YouTube ad money, my suggestion is the groundswell approach. It really is very smart. You find you don't care about the follower counts. You don't care about that. What you care about is that they have great audio quality, great video quality, and good riffs, good guitar tones. That's what you care about. Why? And you care about the tags. You want the tags, and the hashtag is used so that when someone goes, for example, to search up here, like if you guys were to go to search, as I did for, DB Quattro, there are not a lot of demos out there for that company just yet. There's some for sure, yes, but there are not a ton out there yet. So by giving away, say, maybe 50 plugins, let's say, 50 plugins to people that you absolutely are sure are going to turn in video content for you. And they're willing to send you, actually send the video to you that you can actually post on your own. You can either share it or you can post it on YouTube yourself, if you'd like. Now, why does it not matter about the follower counts necessarily? Because anybody that searches for your company name in the bar up here or the search bar of any social media, anybody that searches for your company wants a bigger, I'm not looking at view counts. I'm not looking at subscriber counts and follower counts. I'm clicking on videos that have a good presentation. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. I'm going to click on that. And if it's a good video, that's rad. That's great, because now all of a sudden this list is starting to get populated from the ground up, from all these different people that are willing to do videos for free. And you're just giving them, all you're giving them is a copy of a plugin. It doesn't cost a developer any money whatsoever unless they use iLok. If they use iLok, it does cost them money. If they don't use iLok, then it doesn't really cost them a whole lot of money to send you a plugin. Now, in that trade of services is well worth it for developers, regardless of subscriber and follower count, because it grows, it populates a search history to show the average user that looks up your name, your company name, or your product names on YouTube, on Instagram, etc., or does the hashtag developer name here on Instagram, etc. When they do that, all of a sudden this list goes from a modest amount to a bunch, and all the stuff that shows up it looks good, it sounds good, and the riffs are solid, and everything is presented nicely and professionally. You're not just giving it to everybody with a cell phone that's willing to do a video. You're going to give it to people that, hey, I'm looking through his posts or her posts or whomever's posts, and oh, these videos look fantastic. Why do I say that? Because there are a lot of people that in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s that are all getting some nicer video equipment and just putting together random demos. I was dealing with a gentleman that was 62 and just got himself a nice set of Blackmagic cameras, and he wants to start doing some jazz guitar content. Fuck yeah, dude. Yes, absolutely, because that is something you don't see a lot. You don't see a lot of jazz players using plugins. And you damn sure don't see it with Blackmagic plugins in a nice velvety background like this guy showed me he wants to start using. Fantastic. Would love to get behind that, because then you're going to be cranking. This person is excited to crank out content, and lots of it. So these are all great points to make for people out there that want to create content, and developers out there that want to reach some people. NFRs are an inevitability. You will have to. every company, and Neural DSP, STL Tones, every big company that is out there right now did and has done and continues to do NFRs, not for resale licenses, for content creators in a trade of free services. They don't all get paid. They get free plugins, and that is great. Neural DSP has their artists that they have. They just give them plugins. They create a couple of pieces of content. Some of them have 2,000 subscribers. Some of them have 600 subscribers. Some of them have 25,000 or 100,000 subscribers. But it still creates and populates a wonderful list. And there's this nice trade of services. Hey, we have a new plugin. Would you like to do a demo? And that person might say, no, I can't fit it into my schedule right now. And then that developer at that point is thinking, okay, well, what if we give you $500? Would you be able to find time to do it for us? And then at that point now, guys, I'm sorry. I literally just can't fit it into my schedule. Or they'll be like, yeah, for $500, I'll make time in my schedule. I'll put together a wonderful demo for you. This is how stuff works. And for developers out there and I've dealt with tons of them. I've also dealt with influencers that refuse to do content for free in exchange for plugins, even though they didn't have a lot of subscribers. They're like, oh, I need to set my prices now. That's also a really good way to never get anything from a developer. You have to prove yourself first before you start getting paid from anybody. Okay. And just hopefully that is helping and making some sense for you guys out there. See you later, Ton. So anyhow, we did a lot of talking in the last bit of this, and I'm going to do a little bit more playing. We're going to do a little bit more with the baritone here, and then we're going to probably shut her down. And then I will be coming back either today. It's very likely not going to be today. I'm just going to looking at the timing right now. Tomorrow, you guys can plan for me to be here with a few different guitars doing we're going to do a thermionic stream tomorrow, probably sometime in the morning. Thermionic stream. If you don't know what thermionic is, it's going to be great. It's going to be super old school. We're going to be going over a bunch of these old but amazing plugins. We're going to warm them up a little bit with a couple of fun little things. We're going to work with them. It's going to be super fun. And we're also going to use a blend of IRs from all over the place, all over the different developers. We're going to build our own signal chains and do a little bit of that old school Franken amping, Franken signal chaining. It's going to be a fucking blast. If you're a fan of the old school types of plugins, or you're just curious of how things used to be, even like 5, 6, 7 years ago or so, how things looked in the beginning of when these were the very first, in my opinion, these were some of the very first premium amp sims. When these things dropped, everybody stopped what they were doing. Everybody took notice that this stuff was really good. And even recabinet prior to that, people were like, wow, this Kazrog company is doing something bananas here. So we're also going to theorize what could potentially come from these old ones. We were discussing maybe putting together a bit of a movement and trying to get Shane to re-release these, even just as they are, re-release these or put them out there for free even, and just let people create, man, and appreciate the technology. I would never tell anybody, by the way, to give their hard work away for free. But even putting a modest price like $50, $60 on the collection, I think it would really still do some fucking damage in the average user's DAW. Okay, so that's something where you guys can look forward to tomorrow. Okay, guys, so yeah. This would be a really, really good time to show you just how good the denoiser and silencer and gate mate as well does something very similar. But guys, okay, hold your ears. If you guys cannot handle bad noise, hold your ears. Are you guys ready? This is how much noise is being cut off right now. So let's get the silencer out of the way. All right, here we go, guys. Holy monkey. Holy monkey. Mom, I think this might be one step too low. I don't fully know just yet. I don't know. It sounds pretty good. But at the same time, I feel like the string tension might be just a little too tight. We might try dropping it to like E flat. I tried it in E flat and D, and it sounded monstrous. I might actually go back there instead, and we'll try that next time out. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Thank you so much to Meinzinger Guitars and Aurora Tone Pickups for their support this year and throughout. I cannot wait to bring you more content based on, or bring you more content with the Meinzinger guitar. It is making me very happy. Just need to find that just that perfect pickup match. And then that guitar and I can ride off into the sunset. I mean, wait, sorry. Got a little sidetracked there, guys. Anyways, guys, please do go check out Meinzinger. Please do go check out Aurora Tone. And go and check out Harley Benton as well. If you're out there and you're like, man, I will never. And there are people that I would never personally go out and buy an insanely expensive guitar. Why? Because I just know that with the right amount of maintenance and work, affordable instruments can really play like expensive instruments. However, everybody out there, I think there's every guitar player on earth. I don't know one guitar player that wouldn't want a guitar that is completely and 100% handmade by a dang wizard that is completely designed to their specifications. And Meinzinger gives you guys a very affordable and very high quality option and the ability to do that. Okay, guys? So have a wonderful evening. I will be here again tomorrow. I cannot wait to go through some old school stuff with you guys, talk about the old days of plugins and sound like old people while doing it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. Cannot say exactly what time, but I'm going to go ahead and say it'll be before noon or in the ballpark of noon Eastern time. And I'm sorry for not having an exact schedule all the time. We're trying to nail that down where I can do something a little bit more reliable. All right, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you to the entire team that works so hard along with me, and we work so well together on everything. Thank you for each and every comment in these. I really appreciate it on such a high level, guys. We're building something really cool here from the ground up. We're doing it slowly, surely, organically, and I just absolutely love the people that are coming in here and love the conversations that we have. And I cannot wait to see what comes of every stream that we do. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening, and make sure to go and play some guitar or play some bass or play some drums at some point within the next 24 hours, because I can feel it. You're all going to be creative within the next 24 hours. So take advantage of some good luck. All right, guys, see you later.
surf like this will. My cries for